harvest and one of our garden educators for our teaching garden. I'm so excited to have y'all joining me today as we do a garden activity and enjoy a healthy snack together. So today I'm going to be talking about the 6 parts of a plant that we can actually eat and how each part of the plant helps the plant grow bigger, healthier, and stronger. We're also going to get to enjoy a healthy snack together, and then at the end we're all going to do a little garden activity together. I'm going to show you all how to plant your own green bean seed so that you can grow your own green bean plant. And you'll get to take care of that plant and take it home with you. Before we get started in the garden, I want to talk to you all about My Plate. Have you heard of My Plate before? So this is My Plate. It might look familiar to some of you. Maybe you've seen it in school, at the cafeteria, when you've been here. My Plate reminds us how to make healthy choices and how to eat healthy. It also tells us about the 5 food groups. Do you know what the 5 food groups are? The 5 food groups are fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and then dairy, which our dairy can sometimes be off to the side. Sometimes it's a glass of milk, or a cup of yogurt, or maybe it's cheese. And for some people, they can't have dairy, and that's okay too. You can get calcium and other things that are beneficial about dairy from other foods as well. And so, one of the things I like to point out about My Plate is that if you look at the fruit portion and the vegetable portion, it takes up about half of the plate, doesn't it? Why do you think that is? Why do you think fruits and vegetables take up half of My Plate? That's because we want to make half of our plate fruits and vegetables. The more fruits and vegetables we can eat, the better. They're full of vitamins and nutrients, and they help keep us nice and strong, just like the plants in the garden. So today we're going to focus on fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables can be found all in the garden. And so I want to talk about where our fruits and vegetables come from. To learn about where our fruits and vegetables come from, I'm going to use the tomatoes that are growing in our garden as an example. Tomatoes are one of my all-time favorite vegetables to eat, especially in the summertime when they're fresh and ripe, coming right out of the garden. What are some of your favorite fruits and vegetables to eat? There are 6 main parts of the plant that are edible. Now, when we look at our tomato plant, I don't mean that we can eat 6 different parts of the tomato plant, because that wouldn't taste good. But I'm just going to use a tomato plant as an example to teach you about the 6 different parts of a plant that are edible. Can you think of what might be the 6 parts of a plant that we eat? The 6 main parts of a plant are the roots, and the roots are always hidden underground under the soil, the stem, the leaves, the flower, the fruit, and then the seeds, which are hidden inside of the fruit. So to review, the 6 main parts of the plant are the roots, the stem, the leaves, the fruit, the flower, and the seeds. So as I said, we wouldn't want to try eating the stem of a tomato plant. That would not taste very good. I don't think the leaves of a tomato plant would taste very good either. What we eat is the fruit. So tomatoes are actually a fruit. Starting at the base of the plant, I'm going to tell y'all all about roots. So as I said, the roots are underground. They're always hidden, and they anchor the plant. So the roots actually suck up water and nutrients, and they send it to the rest of the plant. Other examples of roots that we eat are carrots, radishes, turnips, and beets. So we wouldn't want to eat tomato roots, but we can eat carrots, beets, and radishes. Those roots are delicious. The next part of the plant is the stem. And the stem, you can see with the tomato, it's the support system, kind of like our own spine and our bones. The stem keeps the plant standing up nice and tall. The stem acts like a straw, and it sucks the water and the nutrients from the roots and sends it to other parts of the plant, like the leaves and the fruit. Examples of stems that we eat are celery, asparagus, rhubarb, and sometimes people like to eat the stems of collards or broccoli. We eat the stem in lettuce. So we eat a lot of stems. We wouldn't want to eat the tomato stem though, it wouldn't taste very good. Next, we're going to talk about the leaves. And the leaves are kind of like the cooks for the plant. And I say that the leaves are like cooks because they provide food and energy for the plant. And the leaves provide food and energy. See how they kind of stick out like our hands do? They take sunlight and produce food. The leaves also help the plant breathe. Examples of leaves that we eat are lettuce, spinach, collards, kale, and mint, basil. We eat a lot of leaves. Next are the flowers. And the flowers on tomatoes are really small. They might be a little hard to see. They're tiny little yellow flowers. And the flowers are really important because flowers help to make new plants by producing fruit, and inside of the fruit is the seed. Flowers also help to attract pollinators. Pollinators are good bugs that help the plants grow. An example of a good pollinator are bees. Bees are really good for our garden and really good for helping produce more food. So if you see a bee in your garden, try not to be afraid. The bee is helping the garden grow stronger. So the flower produces fruit. So fruit actually grows out of a flower. Examples of flowers that we eat are broccoli and cauliflower. Did you know that broccoli and cauliflower are actually real flowers? So anytime you eat broccoli or cauliflower, the little bead parts, especially on broccoli, that they make a big mess when you chop them up, those are teeny tiny little flower buds. There are other flowers that we eat like Brussels sprouts, and then there are some flowers that are really beautiful and they're also safe to eat. Those are called edible flowers. The next part of the plant is the fruit. And I'm going to harvest this tomato so you can see the example of fruit. So as I said, the fruit grows from the flower, and the stem on top of the tomato is actually part of the flower. And the fruit is super important to the plant. Not only is the fruit one of our favorite parts of the plant to eat, but inside of the tomato are seeds. And seeds are very important because they help make new plants. Now, you might be wondering why I keep calling the tomato a fruit. Because aren't tomatoes actually vegetables? So, kind of a fun little fact, in the garden, there are a lot of fruits that we sometimes also call vegetables. So fruit is anything that has seeds in the inside. What are some of your favorite vegetables that have seeds inside? Tomato is one example. Cucumbers are another vegetable that have seeds in the inside. There's peppers, squash, zucchini, and pumpkin, just to name a few. all of those are vegetables on my plate, but in the garden, and when we talk about parts of a plant, they're actually considered the fruit. So remember, some vegetables are fruits if they have seeds on the inside. So a carrot, which is the root part of the plant, does not have seeds in the inside, so it's not a fruit. It's a root vegetable. So, other fruits that we eat, we mentioned tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, strawberries, raspberries, apples, peaches. There are all kinds of fruits that we eat and that are so delicious. Watermelon, that's one of my other summer favorites. And then the last part of the plant is the seed. Remember, the seeds are in the inside of the tomato plant. So tomato seeds are really, really tiny. And the seeds are so important because seeds are where plants come from. And so the plant uses the fruit to help spread new plants and new seeds all over. So the seed is kind of like a baby plant. The fruit also helps protect the seeds, so it kind of acts like a safe little home. Other seeds that we eat are sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, any type of bean like pinto beans, lima beans, black beans, green beans, peas like green peas, sugar snap peas, and then of course any seeds that are inside fruits. So we eat a lot of seeds. We're going to use a tomato plant to talk about the 6 parts of the plant. And this diagram just kind of shows all 6 parts really easily, since on a real tomato plant you can't always see all 6 parts of the plant. So starting at the base of the plant, you have the roots, and the roots are underground. Next, you have the stem that goes all the way up the plant, and it kind of acts like our spine, and it's the structural part of the plant. Then we have the leaves, and the leaves stick out like our hands do, and the leaves help produce food for the plant. Next is the flower part of the plant, and the flower produces fruit. And fruit is one of our favorite parts of the plant to eat, and fruit is really important because it protects the seeds, and the seeds help grow new plants. So inside of the fruit are little seeds. So I have an easy little worksheet for you all to fill out as review about all 6 parts of the plant. And so you can see here there's a diagram of a tomato plant, and what I would like you to do is to write in the boxes. You're going to label the part of the plant that the box is pointing to. And next to the name of that part of the plant, you can also draw or write out other examples of the part of the plant that are your favorite to eat. So for example, on the stem, you could draw celery or asparagus or other stems that you love to eat. Okay, are y'all ready to get started with our gardening activity? So like I mentioned at the beginning, each one of you are going to get to plant your very own green bean plant. And so if you remember, one of the parts of the plant are the seeds. And so these are green bean seeds. And these are going to be used to help grow your very own green bean. So each of you in your kit should be getting 1 pot, a little bag full of potting soil, a few seeds. All right? So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is take our pot, and you're going to fill it up with soil to about the line right there. So almost all the way to the top. Just like that. So fill the pot up really full with potting soil. Next, carefully take your seeds out of the bag and hold them in your hand. Are the seeds big or small? So these seeds are actually kind of big for plant seeds. Remember how I said tomato seeds are really tiny? Bean seeds are nice and big. And so we need to make sure that our bean seeds get put deep in the soil so that they can grow. So what I want you to do is take your finger and you're just going to gently stick your finger in the soil to make a hole. And we want our hole to be about 1 inch deep. And since you have 2 to 3 seeds in your kit, I want you to make 2 to 3 holes, just like that. And now you can carefully drop 1 seed in each hole. Good job. Now, with a little bit of leftover soil in your bag, you can gently just kind of sprinkle it on top of your seeds and kind of push the soil around so that your seed is covered up. But make sure you don't squish the soil. You just want to gently sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. Just like that. Good job! You planted your very own green bean plant. The next and very important step of taking care of your little green bean is making sure that you give your green bean plenty of sun and plenty of water. Plants are just like us humans. They love sunlight and water, and it helps us survive and stay nice and strong and healthy. So go ahead and find a nice sunny spot to keep your plant and give it a good watering. When you're watering your plant, you want to make sure you're very careful as to not overwater. So take your watering can, and I'm just going to gently make sure that I get the soil nice and wet. So just like that, water your plant so that the soil is a little bit moist, but not like a mud puddle. So after you've watered your plant, make sure you place your plant in a nice sunny spot. And be sure to check in on it every day. Your plant is going to need to be watered every day. And you want to make sure it's getting lots of sun. If you take good care of your green bean, in about 10 days, you'll start to see a little tiny sprout. It'll be a little baby green bean plant. Will start sticking up out of the soil. And if you take really good care of your green bean plant, in a few weeks, you'll have a nice growing green bean of your very own in the pot to take care of. So this is still a little green bean plant, but as it gets bigger and bigger, green beans will start growing out of the flowers. Good job, everyone. Okay, are y'all ready to try a healthy snack where we get to eat all 6 parts of a plant? So in your snack kit, each of you have your own veggies that you get to try and dip to go along with it. So first, we're gonna start from the bottom of the plant and work our way up. So everyone in their kit should have carrots. And these are tri-colored carrots, which I love, because carrots can come in different colors besides orange. What part of the plant are the carrots? Next, we have celery. I love celery because it's so cold and crunchy. What part of the plant is the celery? The next part of the plant we're going to try is lettuce. And we've got lettuce and spinach. What part of the plant is lettuce and spinach? Next, we've got broccoli. What part of the plant is broccoli? And this one might be a little tricky. Now we have our fruit, but remember, we're having our garden fruits. So instead of things like apples or strawberries, for fruit, we've got tomatoes and peppers. And what makes vegetables a fruit? What is inside of the tomato or inside of the pepper? The 6th part of a plant, the seeds. So lastly, you should have some sunflower seeds. So to review again, we've got roots, stem, leaves, flower, fruit, and seeds. Let's dig in. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining me in our garden lesson today. To wrap up, we're gonna do a quick review. So I'm gonna quiz y'all. I hope you were paying attention. First, who can name all 6 parts of the plant? Raise your hand if you think you can name all 6 parts of the plant. You got it right if you said roots, stem, leaves, flower, fruit, and seeds. Good job. My next question is who can name a type of root that we eat? What's one of your favorite roots to eat? So, some roots that we like to eat are carrots, radishes, beets, and turnips. Who can tell me the part of the plant that is inside of fruit? Raise your hand if you know the part of the plant that we eat that's inside of fruit. The answer are seeds. Seeds are the 6th part of the plant that we find inside of our fruit. Who can tell me which part of the plant acts like the cook for the plant? Which plant part produces food for the plant? The part of the plant that produces food are the leaves. Well, I hope y'all had so much fun with me today in the garden. I had a lot of fun teaching all about the 6 parts of the plants that we eat. I hope y'all enjoy your 6-part healthy snack and take good care of those green beans you planted. Thank you so much.